Hello, and welcome to. Oh, that man's just fallen over. Absolute drama there. This is an opportunity where I might actually be able to help, but of course I will do no such thing. I will mind my own fucking business. God, he just went over.
Just decked it.
That raises the worrying possibility that people are going to have like real-time problems throughout this episode, which is possible because this is a sort of slightly different widescreen version of the series known as... Yes. Can I help? We're here in London's beautiful Hyde Park, one of the parks in London. And obviously this is a little bit of an upgrade on our usual surroundings. Fountain over there, birds, man now struggling away.
He's having a limp.
And by the way, some of you have been asking about my hobbling. I have the oldest thing in the world, tendinitis, an inflammation of the Achilles tendon. I'm coming out, it's actually very brave what I'm doing, I'm coming out and talking about it to help other people with tendinitis to confront it. What the doctor advised me to do was load a suitcase with books and totter around a park with the books, which I'm hoping to sell at my show tonight, which involves going to Chippenham. So I should be absolutely right as rain by tomorrow. But to be honest, even if I had headitis, I'd still be answering questions for you because yes, how can I help? Has become one of the essential services. 10 minutes on the clock as ever, and I'm going to see what I can do. The subjects here are a hodgepodge of recent weeks, including, but not limited to, hands, the public, plenty of them around, feelings, phobias, and other stuff like that. And,
also no ref this time, but
no referee.
20 seconds.
So we'll be, exactly, there will be no time added on, this will be a lean 10. And we start with, why do the public like sunshine? Because it's nice. Because when it's raining you get wet, and when it's windy you get cold. But when it's sunny you just think, oh yeah, unless it's too hot, I suppose. But you didn't ask why they like heat, you just asked why they like sunshine. It's nice to sit in the sun, baby bell. It's nice to feel it caress your skin.
Do you feel nice that now?
The sun's gone in almost since I started talking about it. It's nice to feel that you are a living thing. All things that love the sun are out of doors, wrote Wordsworth, or someone like that. I think that's why people love sunshine, because we instinctively understand that the sun animates all life on our planet. Also, people like having a tan, don't they? I myself don't really have a tan. All right, lookers over there. You're gonna get. There's gonna be obviously like more attention than usual because it's a very big park and a lot of people here, and all these people have paid £5 to be here while I do this as well.
They're all fans as well.
They're all fans. How long would it take someone to completely switch their dominant hand, and which tasks would be the easiest or hardest to switch? A dog lopes up. To completely switch your dominant hand would be difficult. Similarly, Milo has asked, have you ever tried to become ambidextrous? And the answer is I sort of did, because broken my arm 3 times, my writing hand, and on all those occasions I had to write with my right hand.
Every time it was the same arm?
It was always my left hand. It was always a case of I'm playing football, whoop, down I go. So a quick tip, in fact, life hack, if you're ever falling down, don't go, whoop, down I go. Try and fall on your knees or something, and you're unlikely to skin them, of course. So I had to write with my wrong hand, and it's difficult but not impossible to do that to some level. The easiest and hardest tasks to switch. I think putting things in places is one of the easiest. You can normally, if someone says put that over there, you can normally do a put with your wrong hand. Frisbee with your wrong hand is very difficult by contrast. Putting your hand up, very easy to switch, even if it's not your favourite hand, you can still switch hands. There's a bit of trial and error involved there. Say I wanted to pick this leaf up. Now I'm left-handed. If I try and pick that with my right hand, I can do it, but also it hurt my tendon.
The oldest thing in the world, tendinitis.
How does one sit with a feeling? I get bored and distracted too quickly. How long am I supposed to sit for? Well,
I agree.
Alex agrees, first of all. A lot of people have very short attention spans and very restless dispositions these days. When I was young, it wasn't uncommon to sit just thinking, living in your feelings for up to 10, 12 weeks at a time. But now, of course, we have TikTok, don't we? And now, photographing birds. I'm photographing birds. My impression of those guys. Yeah, and she liked the song. Oh, photographing birds. Anyway, we mustn't get bogged down with a rousing chorus of my 2024 classic, photographing birds, because I'm here to tell you how to sit with your feelings. Basically, I think sitting with one's feelings isn't necessarily about being still, or sitting down at all even. I think it refers to just fully inhabiting your feelings. If you're feeling pain, for example, or sadness,
tendinitis,
allowing yourself to think, I'm in pain, or I am sad.
Tendinitis.
Sort of, as it were, okay with those not okay things, listening to the feelings. I think a therapist might say, yeah, me for example, I have a rotten old tendon. And if I sort of try and tell me, well, it's not literally rotten, but it hurts. And if I was sort of to say to myself, right, deny it, push through it, that would, in a way, might be less useful than just thinking, my foot is hurting me, that's fine. It's telling me, well, in this case, it's telling me not to play squash or go running. But I tell you what, buggered if I'm stopping those things. So more tendon trouble in my future. What I'm saying is, sit with things by just accepting them. Why do the public do such silly things? Well, yes, I think of some of my classic song, Photographing Birds. All human activity is a bit sort of silly in a way, isn't it? Because I suppose the bottom line is, we're just trying to fill our lives with as much activity of any kind as we can to distract ourselves from the void that awaits beyond our death. And those activities can take many forms, but in a way, most things we can do as humans are sort of a bit pointless. Or
studying logic gates.
That man's studying logic gates, and that is very impressive. But in 1,000 years, he will be dead. So there's no point in him doing it. Probably. What time check, Alex?
4:47.
I suppose what I'm saying is, all of our things that we as the public do are silly things viewed with a long enough prism, but we can't afford to think too much like that. And so we throw ourselves into activities.
We're getting a lot of looks.
Those three women work on the trains. You heard? They were in train uniform.
And not a good train
No, a
network.
troublesome train network, Great Western. The one that takes me back and forth to Bristol, but quite often dumps me somewhere like Swindon. Would you rather only be able to sleep standing up? This is double, actually. This person's asked 2 questions back to back, which have been chosen. Would you rather only be able to sleep standing up or pee lying down? Well, to sleep standing up would be very antisocial, because whoever your partner was, you'd have to lie with them and, if possible, and appropriate, bang them. But then there'd come a time where they went to sleep and you wouldn't even be able to sort of snuggle in next to them. You just have to stand stiffly in the corner. But weeing all the time lying down would be very inconvenient, and there'd be times like planes. Plane! Even trains went, oh, train! There'd barely be room for you to lie down. So I think, and of course, instinctively I'm thinking it would be very tiring to sleep standing up the whole time. But maybe it wouldn't, because that'd be the only sleep you had. Yeah, I think I'll go for weeing lying down, and we'll worry about the mess another time. Is it healthy to have lofty ambitions in a wide range of areas as you age and your skill set and career matures and specialises? Will maintaining the childish, I can do anything attitude inevitably lead to many painful could-have-beens? Good question, philosophically. It's certainly true that as you get older, you have to narrow your focus a little bit, because otherwise you'll be haunted by the loads of things that you could have done and haven't done. But look at me, for example. A year ago I thought perhaps it's too late for me to become a phenomenon as a YouTube answering service. As recently as a week ago, I thought I will never write a hit song called Photographing Birds. And yet here I am now, with people endlessly just blurting it out at tube stations. Photographing birds! And sometimes I feel like photographing birds is a sort of millstone around my neck. People forget the other stuff I've done. But I suppose my point is, keep your ambitions as open and as varied as you can, for as long as you can, because you don't quite know what life will hand you. How do I change my sleep paralysis demon into a sleep paralysis friend? I want to say at this point, and this is not relevant to the answer, but this is the straightest bit of walking we've ever done, I think.
This is crazy, isn't it?
Look how straight this has been. For Alex, this has been
This has been a breeze.
It's been nothing to back into or weave around. We'll get comments saying, well, this was a bit boring, if anything, because Alex never looked in danger of smashing into anything. There is a very big thing behind Alex soon, though, and let's see what
I'm going to try and gauge it without looking. Is that a bad idea?
Well, it's an entertaining idea. How do I change my sleep paralysis demon into a sleep paralysis friend? Now, sleep paralysis is a very frightening thing. where you wake up and you're awake, but you still can't move. Your body still believes it's asleep, is the gist of it, I think. And by sleep paralysis demon, I assume you mean that it feels like a little creature is actually sitting on you when you wake up and weighing you down. I have heard of people experiencing this before. I think it's sort of the same as trying to make friends with anything else or anyone else, really. Ask it about itself, its feelings. Say, demon. In fact, maybe don't call it demon because that sounds a bit judgy. There's the thing that Alex
Look at that. I mean,
backed into but didn't. Yes. Big old horse and a man about to give someone a high five on it. Say to the demon, what are your fears, demon? Ask it about its hobbies. Try and get a name. Find out where it's from and what bands it likes. Just talk to the demon, not as a demon, but as a potential friend. A demon's just a friend you haven't met and don't want to, but have to.
hope it's not goat.
What's your recipe for mash? Get some potatoes, mash them. Mustard's nice. Depends on if you want to make mustard mash. Plenty of cream and plenty of faith. Time check, please, Alex.
47 seconds.
Christ, do 2-year-olds have more energy now than 20 years ago? Or does it just seem that way because I'm 20 years older than the last time they were a 2-year-old in my house? To confirm, the rough energy level of the average child has stayed the same, but you are old and tired, and so am I. When is it too late to give something a go? Again, I've already sort of said this, it's never too late to think about me with photographing birds. Do geese have ambitions or nah? Nah, other than to get bread. Last one, is it okay to not really be asked about making parent friends at primary school? Well, I've talked about this a fair bit on my in my stand-up show, Search. It's absolutely fine not to make extra effort to be friends with parents other than for pragmatic reasons. It's nice to make friends, it's nice to bond with people,
And that's time.
Sometimes you simply haven't got anything in common other than your children, bike.
Tendinitis.
You've been watching How Can I Help? Yes, how can I help? Firstly, thoughts and prayers to the injured faller. I suppose I might as well mention, I mean, this is not really in keeping with, but if you enjoyed this and you thought, I'd love to sort of, I'd love a bit more of that, but it wasn't as interactive, and it was a book, and it was 99p this month, then my book is 99p this month on Kindle. Many of you already know that. But the book has very little to do with this. Normally I would ask at this point well, it's always lovely to have interactions with the content, and you're free to ask any questions, as always, in the comments. But there's no point in asking anything spooky. You might think that because Halloween is coming up, ooh, spooky questions, but there'll be no Halloween episode because, come on guys, ghosts aren't real, the horror stuff isn't real. Next week, how can I help? And it might be very close time-wise to Halloween. It might drop even on Halloween, but there's absolutely no reason to think that anything frightening at all will happen. Anything supernatural or out of the ordinary. Certainly no ghosts. So have absolutely lovely dreams before the next episode of Yes, How Can I Help? Help.
Tendinitis.